Welcome back to Bears News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. Tonight, we've got breaking intel that could rock the very foundation of Halas Hall. Word on the street is that the Chicago Bears are finalizing a blockbuster signing to their backfield ahead of training camp. You heard it right. The same Bears who watched Clemson's Ashton Jeanty slip right through their fingers on draft night may have quietly circled back and secured his services. But we're not going to just drop that bomb and walk away. Instead, let's peel back the tape layer by layer, ask the tough questions, and build the suspense until we confirm what's happening behind the scenes in Lake Forest. In the days leading up to the 2025 NFL Draft, insiders made it clear that the Bears were among the teams coveting Jeanty, widely regarded as the best back in this class. Chicago scouts raved about his blend of power, vision, and breakaway speed. Yet, when Las Vegas stunned the world by selecting Jeanty 6th overall, Poles and company were left empty-handed. Instead, the Bears pivoted to a late-round flyer, drafting Rutgers bruiser Kyle Monangai in round 7. Monangai, while promising in his own right, simply won't carry the same expectations as a top 10 pick. Still, GM Ryan Poles refused to close the door on his running back pursuit. As Courtney Cronin reported for ESPN, Poles admitted that recruiting a back before the final rounds remained on our radar, but the prohibitive cost to trade up proved too steep. The roster quickly filled with returning veteran DeAndre Swift, second-year spark plug Roshan Johnson, versatile Travis Homer, and special teams ace Ian Wheeler, yet a lingering question mark remained. Could this quartet handle a full 17-game workload? Enter head coach Ben Johnson, who hinted that Chicago will carry 6 or 7 backs on the 53-man roster come July. Expect additions, Ben said cryptically, whether via UDFA camp standouts or a low-cost veteran signing. Now, as the calendar turns and the veteran minicamps wrap up, the list of available proven backs is tinier than ever. Nick Chubb, long rumored to be on the market, looks destined to re-sign with Cleveland, narrowing Chicago's options to names like Gus Edwards, Jeff Wilson, and Nyheim Hines. There's also the intriguing case of J.K. Dobbins. While the Chargers hold his UFA tender until July 22nd, signing him would cost his next team compensation, giving Los Angeles some leverage. Yet none of these options quite match the prospect profile the Bears initially chased at draft time. This is where our bombshell comes into play. According to league whispers and multiple front office sources, Poles has circled back to Jeanty's camp this week and reached an understanding in principle. While the Raiders still hold his draft rights, a post-draft signing agreement appears to be imminent. Could the Bears be poised to steal back the crown jewel they coveted in April? And, if so, what kind of contract will accompany this reunion? Reports suggest a rookie-scale deal heavily incentivized by playing time and production, an arrangement that would fit neatly under Chicago's roughly $10.6 million cap cushion, especially if structured with minimal guarantees beyond training. Camp. Imagine what Jeanty adds. A punishing north-south runner who's scored 30-plus touchdowns over the past 2 collegiate seasons, capable of shouldering a huge share of carries in an offense designed to feed fresh legs every quarter. Picture him lining up alongside Caleb Williams, taking handoffs on early down power sets, then exploding through the A-gap while the defense overcommits to Swift's outside speed. Could this dynamic be the missing piece that propels the Bears from a 28th ranked rushing attack in 2024 to a top 10 unit in 2025? But before we start drawing up the X's and O's, let's ask the hard questions. If Jeanty truly signs, will Roshan or Homer's roles shift to third down specialists? Does Monangai's late-round contract mean he's destined for the practice squad, or could he carve out a complementary role? And how will the locker room respond to a rookie straight off the board joining an established vet group? Some veterans might bristle, while others will embrace the competition. After all, Dan Campbell's underdog culture thrives on earning your keep, no matter your pedigree. One thing's for certain. Chicago's depth chart is about to morph dramatically. If this ink dries, expect Jeanty at the top, Swift settling into a featured complimentary role, and Johnson battling for short yardage. Snaps. That's assuming the financials check out and the league office greenlights the deal. Could this strategic pivot mark a referendum on Poles and Johnson's philosophy that when opportunity knocks, you answer, even if it means reopening a sore spot from draft weekend? We're just scratching the surface here. But one thing is clear: this unfolding saga has only just begun. As the Bears march toward OTAs, keep your eyes peeled for that tantalizing first snap from Jeanty in navy and orange. It might come sooner than you think, and once Jeanty takes the field, the ripple effects across the NFC North could be seismic. But for now, we'll leave you hanging on that cliffhanger. Will Ashton Jeanty's signing finally cement the Bears' backfield as one of the league's best? Or will cap complications and roster politics muddy the waters? Stay tuned, because in the next segment, we'll dive into the man himself, what his arrival means for Williams' offense, and why fans should prepare for a seismic shift in Chicago's ground game. Yet, with every rose comes a thorn. Jeanty's reported preference for a turf-heavy schedule and Carolina-like climate raised eyebrows last season. Could Chicago's cold-weather, grass-heavy venues, see Week 1 in Green Bay, present an adjustment curve? And what about pass protection? While scouts raved about his willingness to lead block on screen plays, his 62 run block grade suggests there's room for refinement. Could the offensive line coach, often underappreciated yet pivotal in teaching proper hand placement and leverage, turn Jeanty into a pass-pro guard when called upon? Or will blitz-heavy schemes expose him in Week 3 against the Packers? Beyond the X's and O's, consider the psychological boost. Halas Hall hasn't won a playoff game since 2010, and bringing in a blue-chip rookie injects palpable optimism. Jeanty's work ethic, nicknamed the Diesel, for his offseason lift totals, and his reputation as a team-first leader align with Dan Campbell's culture. Could his locker room presence elevate practice intensity, inspiring a room full of competitors to match his commitment? And how might veterans like Roquan Smith and Eddie Jackson rally around a young phenom, pushing each other to new heights? Then there's the fan reaction. Expect Jeanty jerseys flying off team stores and highlight clips of his Clemson highlights, like the 86-yard romp against Florida State, dominating social media. Could the mere sight of number 6 bursting through the line ignite a Chicago crowd that's grown starved for dynamic playmaking? And for the national media. If Jeanty shines in early-season primetime games, suddenly Bears' backfield renaissance becomes the trending topic, altering perceptions of Poles' front office savvy. Of course, none of this is set in stone. Training, camp, preseason, and the first quarter of the season will be the proving ground. But one thing is clear: Ashton Jeanty's potential arrival shifts the narrative from missed opportunity to second chance seized. As Bears News Fan Report digs deeper into film and front office chatter, we'll continue to track every handshake, every hint, and every official announcement. Until then, keep your eyes locked on Lake Forest, because if Jeanty's signing becomes official, we might well be witnessing the dawn of a new era in Chicago's backfield, and perhaps the greatest running back committee the NFC North has ever seen. But what do you think about all of this? Will Jeanty deliver on the hype and transform the Bears' ground game? Or are we setting expectations too high before a single snap is taken? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm fired up too. Read your takes.